Dave here. I'm on an undisclosed brook in the northern part of the Adirondacks. This is actually a brook that is connected to my property. I have waterfront property on this beautiful little body of water. You can see that it is late June and we're in full growth here. Full growth. There's a lot of activity. There is, we've been scaring a heron as we went upriver, and we think we're going to find one on the way down. He was a big boy too. Nice, big, healthy looking heron. Great deal. And there's a lot of bird activity. So over time, I'm going to be down here with my various bird books and binocs, and I'm going to identify what we have. Here's that beaver dam. We're just going to power right through this one spot. Almost made it. One more good push. Hold still, will you? There we go. Guess I need a better mount. I did want to show you this up here. This opens up a little more. Okay, this isn't going to be a long video. It'd be boring to show you the whole river. It's really something you need to experience in person anyways. But I did want to show you how it opens up. The beautiful thing about it was that we were actually, when we paddled upriver, upstream, we paddled away from the road. The road up here is, if you know anything about the Adirondacks, there's very few roads to get you anywhere. It's not like other mountains, other areas in the east. When you get down to the Blue Ridge, you know, there's hundreds of little roads that take you here, there, and everywhere across the mountains and over the ridges and such. Not so much here. There's so much state land, there's so much private land. So all the main roads are heavily traveled. And so there's a main road here that travels not too far from where we are. Our private road is off of the main road. That's just how it is. So you get closer to the road, it's going to be a little noisier, but yeah, it becomes background noise after a while. I was not lucky enough to find what I consider perfect property that was way back. It would have been difficult. When you look at property that is way back, you know, then you have to start thinking about, is there power there? Getting power, getting grid power, if you want that. I did. Delivered to a plot that is several miles back down dirt road. That can be an issue. And then you've got to deal with winter on these roads. So we opted to find what we consider to be just about the perfect piece of property that had water access, that was not too far off of a main road. And this is the widest spot of the brook. Absolutely gorgeous. Typical trees here in the Dacks. There's a lot of spruce along the river here. There's tamaracks, which are eastern larch. There's going to be, we have eastern pine all through here. There's going to be beech and birch and maple. That's what we have. But the primary trees along this particular area are spruce. We have so much. It's beautiful. I can see a number of tamaracks that are really, really needled out, because that's an interesting tree. It drops its needles every fall. There's a bunch of them that look beautiful right now. So I'm about ready to wrap this video up here, and just to show you my shoreline. And it'll be kind of hard to see on camera, I'm guessing. But I'll try my best to explain what we're looking at. So from right about here, we start to the left. This is my shoreline right here. And you can see that it is really, really very heavily treed in and very, very thick around here. Now, in the Adirondacks, we have such a thing here called the Adirondack Park Agency, and they have jurisdiction over what you can and cannot do on your property. And what they say is that you can't clear cut in wetlands. And I totally agree with it. I disagree that we have to follow those rules by some arbitrary agency, but it is what it is. But I also agree that we are not going to clear cut. It's not something we want to do. It's bad for the environment, and it's just far too much work. And it'll erode away the banks and all that. It's just not necessary. So right over here, this point straight ahead off the bow of the boat, is where we're talking about doing a little bit of clearing for our little picnic spot. The other day, last week, I did the walk down to the pond video, and this is where I walked to. That little opening right there, straight off the bow. That's where I showed you. I was standing on that bank and I showed you the water. Well, we're talking about doing it right over here, straight ahead. So I can cut dead trees down, that's not a problem. And I can clear cut a certain amount of live trees depending on how big they are. There's percentages on that. We're talking about right over here. I think it's going to be a perfect spot. At least this is what she who must be obeyed had suggested. It's a little thick to get to, but we'll just do a little clear cutting and figure it out. It's not too hard to clear it away. And then right over here, I will, yeah, good idea. And then right here, these beautiful little flowers. This is what we're talking about, having a spot to launch right here. I think that we can easily, we could put a dock in if we wanted to. We could easily put a dock in right here. This is the lowest spot on our property as far as height of the land off the water. I think we could easily accommodate a trail to this location and be able to launch our boats. And I can easily build a dock here, not a problem. Boy, it drops right off though. I'm looking down in the water and it drops way off right there. I have no idea how deep this brook is. I'll find out. I'll do a little research and find out what the story is. So there you go. And I don't know if you can see cars going by on the road over there every now and then. It's just up there. That's the main road. That's how close we are, which is a good thing. So I'm going to turn you around and I'm going to show you to the west and show you what it will look like. That's the area that we want to look at in the evening, because that's where the sun is going to set, in that general area, and it is just beautiful when we experience that. And then hopefully we'll be able to see some northern lights every now and then, because we're way out of the village and there's no street lights around here. So there you go. So that is a very long video, probably longer than I should have done, but this is our pond. Life is good in the Adirondacks.